Good afternoon. Uktu. Here's the plan. Pretend it's morning and I don't know what's going to be happening, which I've kind of blown by saying good afternoon, but let's just move on. We'll see what happens around the site. Later today. I think it'll involve a Digerator, it'll involve walls, it'll involve the pump room, and who knows what else. Well, I do, but anyway, what could possibly go wrong? This is build day 26. So, no idea when this can actually go out, whether it will go out as one video or part of a couple of days, because computer issues still confound me. Day 24 was mostly wiped out by rain. They managed to get a couple of hours in. Day 25 they did a full day, and this is now day 26, so let's have a look around and see what's going on. And the first thing we have is a very happy lead foreman, Manny, because the Digerator has arrived. Just came in this morning. So, he's a happy boy. I think he really wants to work 24 hours a day now. I know he wants to work nights. Whether the builder will let him do that, we'll have to wait and see. But we should now obviously get earth moving at a very much faster rate. So we'll keep an eye on the Digerator, see what goes on with that today. And here on the house, we have forms in place all the way around, almost finished. They're just tying in the last little bits, which will allow them to pour the slab when they get the backfill done and the conduit put in and whatever else needs doing. But they are getting much closer. All of this has happened in the last, really yesterday, because as I said, there wasn't much going on the day before. They're putting in the last pieces of rebar along that perimeter, which this slab will tie into. Let's see what else has been going on while we were away. And the south wall has progressed a little more, not a whole lot. I'm not sure how much time they spent on this yesterday, and there's no one here today. They've all been relocated over onto the north wall, which we'll have a look at now. North wall, tons of progress. They've started to extend this section back to, as I've mentioned before, our property basically goes along here to where those posts are over there, and then it takes a sharp right and goes off down past that house. So they're filling in this section, or starting to. They're also starting to fill in where the pump room will be for the swimming pool. So that wall is starting to go up, that base of the wall is starting to go up. And then looky here, above we're going higher. So they've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections that now have an additional 2 levels of concrete hollow block on top of the beams that they've removed all of the forms all the way down. That's big progress from where we were when I last looked at this. And we'll go down to the other end and see how they're getting on down there as well. Inside the carport, if memory serves me correctly, they've done some backfill, and it's all been done manually because the Digerator only arrived just this morning, so it hasn't been used here. So they have done some backfill here. And we'll move down beyond it and have a look down there. And here with his back to us, Troilito, Foreman Chris, and they are extending the wall further and further down. And they now have the columns and beams in place all the way down to the neighbouring property, and they're starting to build the wall up all the way along there. We're not exactly secure yet, but this is very significant progress along this side. And builder Alan has bought another gift. I saw this one come in yesterday. A third concrete mixer. So, what was was being done previously manually in places should now be being done in one of the 3 concrete mixers. Progress will continue apace. Okay, quick correction. They haven't quite got all the forms on the outside wall of the house, but it's just this one little section that is not complete. And here's a delivery of what appears to be dirt for backfill. That's the first one. No idea how much more will be coming, how much more is going to be needed. I would think quite a lot. And there it goes. Unloading. In between the carport and the house, because it will be needed for both. And it's definitely not the only one, because here's a second one coming in. We're not going to count them in and count them out, but we'll keep a general eye on how many come along. Here's number 2. And there will be, I am told, 3 today. Plus a couple of deliveries of sand. Just awaiting instruction to be allowed to go. And here it goes. Two down, 1 to go. It's just before 11 o'clock and we've got some breaking news and it's a little sad. We've had a casualty on the site. Emergency care has been called for and has arrived, so hopefully everything will be okay. But right now, let me show you, prepare yourselves. The Digerator has stopped working. We are all hopeful that a swift recovery is made, with the excellent care I'm sure it's receiving right now. We'll keep you updated with this global breaking news event. So, continuing our breaking news, the Digerator is still being attended by the doctors. Manny's looking very unhappy and has started driving the truck around the site, delivering anything, concrete hollow blocks, cement, sand, to take his mind off this concerning incident. Hopefully, this will be resolved. The digger doctors are doing their best. They're waiting for a more senior digger doctor to arrive to see if he can help. We wait with bated breath. Meanwhile, in another story that's been rumbling on for quite some time, discussions about the size of the gym and spa continue. My sour is still not yet convinced that it's large enough, so it may be that we have to knock down some of these external walls, and no, we are not doing that. It ain't happening. It is what it is. I leave it to our builder to persuade my lovely wife. There is plenty of space in there. Stay tuned. So we're back with a Digerator update. It's 2:30. I'm sorry to report that just after lunch, the Digerator ambulance came and they took it away. Digerator doctors did their best on site, but they were unable to revive it fully. Our hopes are with it. We believe it may fully recover. We're told it might be 3 or 4 days before we see it again. So please, if you have a moment, spare a thought for the Digerator in its moment of need. And spare a thought for Manny. Manny, who now sits beneath the tree, sad and dejected. So, we'll start off with the pump room, which is developing very nicely. A lot of progress here. The wall's going up quite quickly. And there's only been 2 guys working on this, but they have got it a long way. And if we move down the north wall, we now have 3 layers of
hollow block above the beam that was put in previously. And we've got that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. And I'm sure by the end of the day they'll get it down another 5 or 6 sections beyond that. So we're starting to get a little bit of security in place. I mean, obviously, got the cows, but this is just an extra layer. And on the north wall, we have connected, well, sort of, with the neighbour's wall. So we're now all the way back up here. This has had 6 guys, I think 5 or 6 guys working on it today. So again, terrific progress here. Those cows, they should be a little worried. And here we've got Ariel and Richard, new Richard, who seems to be practicing for a high wire act. So circus applications will be submitted soon. But this is a new bit of development. Not exactly sure what's going on here, but part of it is making sure it's straight. That's good.
It's the end of the day. Annie's just driving out. A day that started with him bouncing around, very happy, and ended more subdued as he reflected on the 2 or 3 hours of enormous joy he got from driving the Digerator, followed only by the sadness that came when the Digerator fell ill. And it's gone, and we don't know when it will be back. Our thoughts are with it. We believe it will make a full recovery and may return in 2 or 3 days. We'll have to wait and see if it resumes its spot over there, just behind the tree, and then zipping around all over the place. What else has happened today? Let's have a look. So this was the area of some focus today. There were a couple of guys working on it pretty much all day. The pump room, or what will be the pump room. So they've taken it really from almost nothing to a structure that looks a bit like a structure. Obviously a way to go, but 2 guys have got really a lot done in getting this thing started. And almost everybody else, if they weren't cutting and bending steel, were working here on the north wall. So we're now 3 rows of hollow block above the tie beam for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and then more than that for the following 5 sections. And we'll wander down to the other end to see how far they got down there. But loads of progress here. It's really starting to look like a wall. And here we have the north wall again, looking from near the road. So we have got 6 levels of concrete hollow block all the way. It's not a deterrent yet. Well, it's a little bit of a deterrent, but it's not going to stop anybody yet. But it won't be long before this really represents proper security, at least on this side. And so at the end of the day, here is what might have been 3 big truckloads of dirt that I suspect, if the Digerator had made it through the day, would not be located here. It would be mostly over here inside the house. But it wasn't to be. So hopefully the Digerator does get back to us reasonably soon. We've been told it might not be till Monday, but the guys will carry on anyway. So that's day 26. Still not sure entirely when I'm going to be able to get this out. It does sound like one of my computers may have been repaired. Well, I've been told to come and get it. Whether that means it's been repaired or they've just given up, we'll see. If it is repaired, we might be able to get back into this tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We'll see. Okay, that's it. Day 26 in the bag, to be published at some point.